welcome back to Aqua Deco. We're finally doing another Aqua Resin video. It feels like it's been forever since we did one, but I just got these really cute molds in and I thought it would be really nice to make an Aqua Resin piece with it. And these are the molds. They have like little bubbles. Let me see if I can. They have these little bubbles on the side and a little spot in the middle for like a tray, and they come in two different sizes and shapes, so I think they're gonna be really cute. So let's get started. Here is a better view of the bubble tray molds. The bubble texture is so cute and I think this material is going to be perfect for it. We are using Aqua Resin to create our piece. It's a water-based casting material, unlike epoxy. Epoxy resin is the other material that we often use on this channel. Aqua Resin, on the other hand, is more like plaster or concrete. Aqua Resin comes in two parts, a liquid and S3 powder. The mix ratio on the instructions is 1 part liquid to 3 part powder. Here's a tip from their website though. If you do 1 part liquid to 3.5 parts powder, it drastically reduces the bubbles, and that's the ratio I am using for this pour and all my Aqua Resin pours in general. Just to note, there are various similar casting materials out there like Jasmonite, and they have a different mix ratio. Follow the instructions that come with your product if you are using a different product. So following the 1 to 3.5 ratio, we are mixing up 90 grams of liquid and 315 grams of S3 powder. If we're off by a gram or two, that's totally fine. I measure in grams, but you can use ounces, pounds, kilograms, whatever your preferred measurement is, as long as you're following the correct ratio. We first measured out the liquid and then slowly add the powder in there. As we add the powder into the liquid, mix it every now and then to help reduce the clumps. As we are measuring out our materials, you'll see that I'm going back and forth hovering over the scale because my lighting makes it a bit difficult to see the number on my scale. In case anyone was wondering about the scale, it's a regular kitchen scale that I got off Amazon. I would suggest getting a separate scale for this and not use the same one that you use to measure food, because I don't think you want to accidentally ingest this stuff, just to be safe. Okay, now that we have both parts measured out, we will use an electric mixer to fully mix the two parts. Notice here how lumpy the mixture is right now before the mixer. I am using a Black & Decker mixer that I got on Amazon. It's like a normal hand mixer for baking. I will link the materials I used for this project in the description so you can check it out afterwards. We'll mix this with the mixer for about 2 minutes, and this is very sped up to save time. But after it's done, you'll see how smooth the mixture is now compared to the before. Of course, we didn't really mix it too much by hand to begin with, but it would be difficult to get all the powder lumps just mixing by hand. You'll think you got it all, but it'll show up as white spots on your piece that will not go away because they're the tiny powder lumps. Trust me, an electric mixer will save you so much time, material, and frustration. Now we have our mixture ready to go and we can create the designs for our trays. I don't think I mentioned what kind of tray we're making in the beginning, so we are making a marble tray. We love marbles here, and the red marble is our favorite of them all. If you check out our previous Aqua Resin videos, you'll notice a lot of the pieces we made are the red marble design. To create this marble design, we are going to add drops of liquid pigments into our mixture. This off-white color is the natural color of Aqua Resin, and this will be our base. For the pigments that I am dropping now, they are Jasmonite pigments. We have the red oxide, the terracotta, and the yellow. When dropping pigments like this, be very careful or else the entire bottle can easily spill into the mixture. Now that I think of it, maybe a pipette would be a good investment for this. Once we're done adding our drops of color, use a stick to swirl the colors around. I started with a toothpick, but the lines were kind of fine, so I used the stirring stick to mix it up a little more. Whenever you see me tapping the container against the table, it's to help with the bubbles. The vibrations will bring the bubbles to the surface and pop any surface bubbles. And a very important step before we pour is to clean off any specks or dust that is in our molds, or else it'll show up on the surface of our pieces. Blue tape is good for this step. Now we're ready to pour our bubble trays. I am pouring into the bubbles first and moving towards the center. There is no specific way to create the marble design, so get creative. After pouring the first tray, the colors are mostly used up since the drops were on the surface, so we will add some more drops to create the second marble tray. And here's actually where I messed up and accidentally poured too much pigment, so I'm going to mix it up and just go for it. I'm going to get some pipettes now for my next marbles though. As I pour, another mistake has occurred and I realized that I didn't have enough mixture. This is the first time I'm working with these molds, so I wasn't sure how much is needed. There is a way to figure it out, but I just thought the original amount was a lot, but clearly it wasn't. Now I'm scraping the container to get as much of this batch as I can, and the good thing is we can just mix up more. Before I mix some more aqua resin though, I spread out this marble from the original batch to keep the design consistent on the surface. The work time for this material is about 30 minutes, so it's already setting as we're mixing more up. If we pour more on top of this original batch, it wouldn't move around too much and the second batch won't show on the surface. Now we have to go through the whole measuring and mixing process again as quick as possible, while also making sure the mixture is fully mixed. The color for the second batch is just a mix of the pigments that were already in the cup. Again, I kind of just guessed how much more aqua resin was needed to fill the mold. I don't have any exact numbers yet. After we demold, we can measure the piece and get the weight from there. I mixed up another 100 grams for the second batch, and it seems like we're needing every bit of it as well. The back of this tray isn't going to have the pretty marble design like the first tray, but I'm trying to blend the solid colors with the marble on the side to make it look nicer. Once we finish the pour, give the sides a little lift to help with the bubbles. This is introducing some vibrations as I was mentioning before. Once that's done, we'll let our pieces sit for 2 hours to cure and be back for the demolding. The quick demolding time is amazing if you're impatient or just need to make a lot in a short period of time. Let's see how these turn out. Since these molds are translucent, here's a sneak peek at the other side. I had a little debate for which piece I wanted to demold first, so let's start with the one that's in my hand. Look at those cute bubbly edges. Each bubble is a unique marble design, and the marble kind of reminds me of a bead bracelet. The surface is really, really soft. If only you could touch this tray through the screen, you'd be surprised at how soft this is. Now let's demold the other tray. I'm really excited for this one because the marble on the back is so beautiful, and when we flipped it, the colors looked amazing. So some pigments got stuck to the mold, but that's okay. We'll clean it off with soap and water. Look at how cool this marble turned out though. The edges are so beautiful and unique. You really can't replicate this. I love this color combination as well. This is definitely my favorite color combination. The center is like two different marble designs, but that's just how I ended up doing the pour. Let me show you these trays in another lighting. This is just natural indoor lighting. Can you see that softness through the screen? This matte aesthetic is so beautiful. I am really liking the more subtle marble in this tray. The colors are a little more blended since we mixed the pigment in more, and the small bubbles are really cute. The back looks fine. Let's take a closer look at the larger bubble tray. I thought I would like the larger bubbles, just the shape of it, but I think seeing the piece made versus the mold made me change my mind. But this piece itself is still really lovely. I can't get over the uniqueness of these trays, and I love the bubble edges. This material is perfect for it. Let's see how they look with some earrings. And let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed making these marble bubble coasters or trays with me. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or feedback, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.